The Wind Waker. It's a classic video game, an awesome one of the few Zelda games I've played. Yes, I game infrequently, but I loved it tons. So in my crusade to prove Toon Link's super strength, I moved away from Phantom Hourglass and Spirit Tracks to dissect the physics of Wind Waker. This was quite some time ago, and I calculated the sheer force behind the weapon known as the Skull Hammer. As promised, I'm going to look into another tool in Link's arsenal known as the Iron Boots. Could they do what they do? How heavy are they? I have the answers. Hello, I'm the Theorizer. This was an immensely fun one to calculate because I've got to work with rational proportions of geometry. How fun! Not. If we want to figure out the ability of the Iron Buttes, we first need to figure out how heavy they are. If you've followed me up until this point, then you should know all about how I've accurately calculated Toon Link's very childish and very inhuman height of 2'9". This is accurate based off of what we observe in-game, but based off of his childishly under-average body mass index of approximately 16, this would put his weight at roughly 11.3 kilograms or 25 pounds. Very small person here, but he packs an amazing punch. His weight is only half the literal equation though. We are looking at the Iron Boots, so how heavy are they? Well, they're quite heavy. Quite heavy. It looks like Link triggers mini quakes when walking, but that's just from his minute perspective. The Iron Boots are very roughly composed of two bizarrely formed cylinders and two small cuboids interwoven around them. To find out how heavy they are, we need to know two things: the density of iron and the amount of iron used to make them. Iron's density is easily researchable because Google, but we still need to painstakingly calculate the volume of the boots. I calculated so you don't have to, and I did. I used a ruler to compare Toon Link's short stature to the various shapes making up the boot, and I used the formulae to find that each boot is around 0.00208 cubic meters of iron, multiplying by 2 as there are 2 boots, and then multiplying by iron's density, we are given a mass of 32.8 kilograms of solid boot. That's an insane 72 pounds. Again, little baby Link is a god to be able to carry such weights. Adding his weight to that weight, we have the rough weight Toon Link is hauling around, 44 kilograms or 97 pounds. Now that's more average for his age, but we aren't done, because now we need to figure something out. We know the weight of the boots, but what does this all mean for the winds blowing Toon Link around? How fast could they be before pulling him off the ground? So this is interesting because if we're following that logic, we need to assume that this, first of all, is going to be in our world. Also, that it's just Link wearing just boots. Kinky. In this case, then, the force of wind blowing on him would be equal to the force of gravity holding him down if we are in fact calculating his staying groundedness. So his gravitational force is just his mass times the gravity accelerating him down to Earth, but the wind force is a bit trickier. Older viewers of this channel will remember when I constantly used this equation in almost all of my physics videos because of its incredible usefulness. I got tired of it, to say the least. It is, if you still don't know, half of the density of air times the exposed area times the number representing the object's shape times the speed of movement squared. Ugh. Link's gravity we already have. Since the acceleration in this theoretical earthly scenario is just the usual 9.81 meters per second squared. Air density is found via Google, as is the number representing the shape of an upright human's full resistance to air. The only thing we need to calculate is the area Link is exposing to the wind, which is actually pretty easy. I broke them up into 3 rectangles and a circle. Boom, measured, done. Me likey. 0.1622 square meters, and boom, rearranging and calculating through my lovely Texas Instruments device. Oh, we got it. Toon Link can fare against winds the likes of which a Category 4 hurricane can emit. Well, technically right on the border of 3 and 4. I must know where he gets his tools, or rather where I can get them in real life. This boy's insane. We all must bow down to the god that is Toon Link. Insanity. absolute physics to fire this utter lad. And so another tool in the arsenal of death has been ticked off of the checklist of insanity. Stay tuned for more intriguing but less mathematical lore theories, and stay even more tuned for more of this insanity. Math for the win, nerds. Until next time, peasants, I'm Toon Link.